Hi, I want to talk about the fractality of love, how fractal it is. When you first see the person you're gonna end up with, it's one, and then as time passes by, it's like zooming into one of those fractals. It becomes more and more intricate, more and more complex, in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. And the further in you dive deep, you realize how you change and how evolving into this sort of fractal love, it becomes like a mirror for yourself. So you can see how some aspects of your life are improved and basically mutually changed, and how sometimes when you're in a really subtle mood, you can really like grasp the details of it, like looking at something under a microscope. You can really see the details. It's like almost otherworldly sort of psychedelic experience. You can really see the details of how small things, small occurrences sort of shaped and changed, and how things might not be able to be in any other way. So I had that realization recently, and I have it from time to time, because I, like probably everybody else, you're not always in this sort of subtle mood of really picking up the resonance and all that, but when that sort of wave comes along, it's good to take the opportunity and really sort of listen and see what it brings about. So when I was lying in for sleep the other day, cramped up against the wall because the little girl was like sleeping next to me, and I just looked at her and my mother, her mother, my wife, and just all that sort of realization came to life. And also we're having another child. We already have a summer solstice child, so we're gonna have a winter solstice child. So there you have like this sort of fractal relationship. And the other day also we went to the ultrasound test, and it's also a fractal experience where you see inside of the womb, you see the life that will come out, and you see your wife, and meanwhile a grandmother is taking care of the girl back home, and it's all connected, it's all fractal, it's all like from the older to the younger, and you can see like how things kind of evolve. Just as love evolves fractally, even your family life sort of evolves. Like you have your parents, then there's you, and there's your children. And it sounds like a cliche, but I tell you, when you have those subtle moments, you really feel it. You totally in your whole body. And so it's a really beautiful time now, where we have one kid, and another kid is growing. I mean, both are growing, but still in the womb. So there's a sensation of being more than life. It's really a beautiful thing. And I mean, the everyday life is always full of practical things, and as I said, it's not always that we are in this kind of subtle mood, but when we are, it's then you sort of understand the cliches, some of the phrases which sounded maybe logically interesting, for example, when I was younger, but then you experience them, and then they have a whole nother meaning. So it's really interesting. And so we're gonna be a family of 4. We're really happy, everything is fine. So there's so much to look forward to, really. And I just wanted to share this because this goes along, of course, not only for your love relationship, it goes for your friend relationships, your work, your hobby, your interests, your personal development, whatever. Sometimes you have those subtle moments, and you really can sort of watch it like a cinema screen, sort of, and get these realizations. And the most important thing, I think, is to sort of remember that and let that inspire your daily life, because that makes that's very important. It's perhaps even more important than diet and all that physical health, you know, just this sort of inner vibe, this inner energy, that's the inner kind of fountain, you know. As long as it's showering love and water for you, for the people nearby, and you really have tons of energy, and things in the world seem even more beautiful. So so when I had these kind of experiences before, I was a family man, they were of a certain type, but now the fractal has kind of gone deeper in, you know, it's so far beyond. So sometimes I can just look at what I see outside here, and just look at anything and sort of sense some kind of a causal journey connection in everything, you know. And that's why it's so important for us to, I really think this is not to give some kind of advice or something, but I think it's really important to, you know, you have your life, and just do the things you feel are right and genuine, and always focus on the creative part. It's always easy to sort of catch the negative tide, and everybody does that from time to time. But always remember, and especially if you take care of this sort of moments where you have the subtle experiences, let them remind you when you're dragged into something negative that, you know, hey, you know, always focus on the journey, on the positive, because sooner or later you will have to face some negative big problems. So it's better to be fully full of energy for that situation, rather than having like 100 situations in a month or something. And it also makes your body feel lighter, your mind. As I said, I think it's one of the most important things regarding health and well-being and strength and everything. Longevity, in a sense of, not longevity, but what it's called, stamina, like enduring everything. So yeah, that was some thoughts. That was something I wanted to share from this beautiful morning in Stockholm. Take care and all the best. Ciao.